1, 2, he's coming for you. 3, 4, better shut your door. 5, 6, the reviews is quick. 7, 8, Freddy's got this date. Well, the review may not be quick, but yes, Freddy does indeed have this date today. And you'll understand why here in a little bit. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strung from QuickTime Reactions, and yes, to cap off a very, very busy weekend for me, we are dipping our toes a little bit into horror today, because today, at the end of a very long Saturday, I got the opportunity to watch the 5th entry into the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, the Dreamchild. This, of course, sees the legendary Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, but we also have Lisa Wilcox, Kelly Jo Mipner, Beatrice Boapel, Joe Seeley, Danny Hessel, as well as a whole host of others. And we follow Alice, who is a recently graduated high schooler, and she wants to, start a new life for herself. But unbeknownst to her, she is actually pregnant. And Freddy Krueger sees this as the opportunity to potentially make himself reborn into this new world. So, will Alice be able to stop Krueger before he is brought onto this earth again? We'll have to find out. So obviously you must be asking the question to yourself, Daniel, why on earth are you watching the 5th entry into this franchise when you haven't even shown on your channel that you've talked about the first 4? Well, there are 2 reasons. One, I saw this as an opportunity to check out a horror movie that I had not seen. So I naturally just went and took that opportunity for myself. And number 2 is I kind of already tangentially know somewhat what happens in those first 4 films. Of course, we have the first one, Nancy and her friends and stuff like that, and of course Freddy Krueger being terrifying. The second one, I think we follow a different group of kids in that instance, and of course Freddy terrorizes them. 3, we are with a whole lot of people in a psych ward, and we also see Nancy return to the franchise, and this is of course where we get the dream aspect into it. And 3 is actually zany bonkers, with Freddy leaning into comedy but is still terrifying. 4, Dream Master, is when we start to see a little bit more of Krueger's funny side start to come out, and they also recasted Patricia Arquette for that movie as well. And then we now have this one where I have to say this, because I knew that there was going to be unique kills in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. For instance, I believe it's in 3 where Krueger is marionetting the guy with his blood vessels or something, and then he just walks off a building and falls to his death. That's really cool. But, and of course, in the first one, there's Glenn gets pulled into his bed and then the geyser of blood shoots up. That's iconic. But here, this has got to be the most unique kills I've ever seen in a horror movie. One lady gets, she eats a lot, and she basically chokes to death. And of course, we also get the classic line "Bon appetit, bitch." Uh, do I need to have a bitch quota for this? Because that would be something that Freddy Krueger would, probably be proud of me if I had that quota. Um, hmm. Sure, we will have a 5 bitch quota. So that was number one. Um, and we also have earlier on with Dan, also the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie that I watch, and a dude by the name of Dan is killed. That's messed up. He falls asleep at the wheel of his truck, so he imagines like Krueger taking control of his truck, but then he's back at the school. He gets on a motorcycle, and then he starts to merge with that motorcycle, and then he wakes up from his dream. He gets in a head-on collision with a truck. Oh, by the way, back to that choking scene. Alice opens the fridge in um, her house. The food gets all moldy and stuff, and she sees her friend in the fridge. Krueger shuts the door, and I love the note on the fridge that says "Die, bitch." So that's two. Um, I also love, I believe it is Mark's death, where he is literally take on Mead, uh, where he is pulled into a comic book. He turns into the character that he was drawing for his comic. But then, of course, Freddy becomes Super Freddy. And if you're a fan of Dead Meat, you would know that Super Freddy sucks. And so he's able to absorb all the bullets, turn him into a comic, and basically use his finger knives to just slash the paper into all sorts of little bitty bits. And in the real world, he's like crushed by all sorts of stuff. Um, and then we get to the final showdown, where Freddy Krueger and Alice are in the dream world, and they're uh, like how do I want to say this? Uh, Basically, they're trying to like pull each other apart, and while that is happening, Alice's friend is actually at the, what do they call it, mental institute, insane asylum, one of the two, um, where she finds uh, Freddy Krueger's mom, Amanda Krueger. She's able to free the remains, like, yeah, let her soul be at rest. Um, and I I love, but I also hate this, where Freddy Krueger, this, scary son of a bitch, 3, um, he is punked out by a kid. He's punked out by an unborn kid. That is some BS right there. That is some BS. But the souls that Krueger had put into Alice's son, Jacob, they start to pull themselves out of uh, Krueger, and he turns back into the little baby creature that we saw at the beginning of the film, and this little bitch baby 4, and we see both the babies go back to their respective mothers, which I thought was a really nice uh, touch as well. Um, Leslie Bohem, if I think I'm pronouncing that last name correctly, was one of the writers that contributed to the story. I can't remember the other two, but that Leslie Bohem was the sole person who wrote the screenplay. And then I believe Stephen Hopkins, I believe it was Hopkins was his last name. He directed this, and um, I don't know if um, Taron Gilliam saw this movie and was inspired and was like, yes, I'm going to make this movie my exact style from here on out. Because now, granted, the only Taron Gilliam movie that I've seen is, I believe it was called 12 Angry Monkeys, I believe. Um, So I've not sampled all of his work, but from what I've seen in 12 Angry Monkeys, where it's like um, certain uh, askew shots, and there are a lot of askew shots in this movie, which I thought added to the style of it. Was like I can definitely see Gilliam pulling from that. Um, the production design and the effects are absolutely amazing in this. And they are just like a true sight to behold. Like, even though this movie is probably what, almost, I would say, if not 30 years old, like, it's still really, really good and it holds up really, really well. So, a hats off to everybody in the effects department because this looked really, really good. Uh, but yeah, our little review has come to a close. That is my review of Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. Um, and hopefully you all enjoyed this and you weren't a bitch about it. You weren't bitching about it in the comments because I didn't review the first four. And yes, I did meet my 5 bitch quota before the video ended. So, just a little sampling of what we have in store for Noobs for Horror October, where we're going to be talking about all things spooky and scary throughout the month of October. So, this video just a little bitty sampling of what to look in store. So, for what's in store anyway. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of this movie. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Be safe out there. And remember, if you think that, you know, a monster or something is, you know, trying to kill you in your dreams, my best advice is to uh, do what they did in Dream Warriors. Take your weakness and turn it into a strength. That that's my that would be my rationale in trying to find the monster. I'm just saying. And I will see you guys next time.